American Idol has been one of those shows which never stops surprising us season after season. However, the show's awe-inducing factor is usually about the contestants' vocal skills and not about their scandals. The latter is the case of the 17th season's winner Laine Hardy, who was arrested in 2022 on felony charges. This scandal was preceded by a series of bad moments which endangered his young career, though Laine was finally able to move on from all those difficulties. Nevertheless, there are still many unanswered questions about Laine Hardy's arrest, how the case was resolved in the end, and the future of his career. Are you also wondering about these things? Then stay with us to find them out. News about Laine Hardy's potential arrest came out in April 2022 through a Facebook statement posted by the singer himself. In the post, Laine affirmed that despite his fame, he wanted to keep certain details about the case in privacy due to the sensitive nature of the accusations made against him. Not long afterwards, several news platforms came forward with details about the case, revealing that an ex-girlfriend had accused Laine of bugging her dorm's bedroom. According to reports, the unidentified ex-girlfriend and Laine had been dating since November 2021 and broke up in the early months of 2022. The woman, who was attending Louisiana State University, found a recording device in early April of that year after several weeks had passed since the pair broke up. While it's unclear when exactly Laine inserted the bugging device in his ex-girlfriend's room, the reports pointed out that he had been aware of certain events in her life from December 2021, despite the woman never revealing these to him. The victim stated that Laine had confessed to her that he was recording her in February 2022, just a couple of months before she found the bugging device under her bed. He was also accused of having a fake Instagram profile which he used to cover up that he was recording her. Following the accusations of bugging, Laine was arrested by Louisiana's police, facing an investigation for interception and disclosure of wire, electronic, or oral communications crimes. As reported by the local news site BR Proud, he was cooperating with the investigation after being booked into prison, with the singer confessing that he'd put the bugging device in his former girlfriend's room. Nevertheless, in the end, Laine wasn't actually sentenced to jail. According to the Daily Advisor, the singer avoided incarceration for being a nonviolent offender on top of being the first time he had committed a criminal offense. This led authorities to put him in a diversion program, which meant that he had to attend counseling and do community service to avoid a jail sentence. As stated by the authorities, the victim agreed with the deal, even though Laine's crimes are usually estimated at a minimum of 2 years in prison and thousands of dollars in fines. With that being said, the diversion program didn't have a definite duration and was up to the counselors to decide when Laine would get out of it. These days, Laine Hardy is active in the music industry, but it took him a while to get back on track. Following the aforementioned charges in October 2022, he announced his exit from the Entertainment 19 Disney Music Group labels with which he'd been working since his American Idol victory in 2019. According to Laine, he was grateful that having worked with both companies opened important doors for him as a musician, but it was time for him to take his career in the new directions. Nevertheless, it's unclear whether Laine's decision had anything to do with the issues he'd faced with the law before that. In October 2023, Laine affirmed on social media that he was starting a new chapter in his life after overcoming good and bad experiences at a time when he had kept himself away from public life for almost a year. Although the post didn't hint that he was working on new music, Laine soon posted a funding campaign to help him afford the cost of making music and touring, collecting over $3,500 by the time he closed the campaign. Since his return, Laine hasn't actually released any new music, but has been performing at country music shows. Not long after his debut on American Idol during the 16th season, Laine Hardy released his first single, In the Bayou, in May 2018, containing 2 original songs, including an eponymous one and Louisiana Lady, on top of Laine's cover of Band of Heathen's Hurricane. Later that year, he released a cover of Elvis Presley's Blue Christmas. In 2019, Laine released the single Flame to be performed before his finale night on the 17th season of American Idol. The next year saw him release several singles, such as Ground I Grew Up On, Please Come Home for Christmas, and Other LA. The year 2021 saw Laine releasing the singles Memorize You, Authentic, and Here's to Anyone, alongside his first compilation entitled On the River. However, Laine hasn't released new music since he returned to the music industry in late 2023, despite the high expectations put on him by his fans. The The first time we saw Laine Hardy in American Idol was in 2018 when he auditioned for the 16th season of the show. That time, he conquered the hearts of the judges with a rendition of Band of Heathen's hit song Hurricane, obtaining a yes from everyone. Laine was still only 17 years old, but had plenty of performing experience as part of the band Hardy, formed alongside his brother Kyle and cousins. However, he didn't make it too far in the competition, being eliminated shortly after the 50 cut was announced. Later in 2019, Laine set foot on the American Idol stage to accompany a friend during her audition, but was asked to perform on his own by the judges, who immediately remembered him. This time, Laine not only made it to the competition, but also had a notable path in it, gaining the hearts of the audience and the judges' approval before eventually winning the Idol's title with his original song, Flame. While Laine hadn't initially intended to join American Idol again after being eliminated the first time, his willpower made his eventual victory possible, if at first you don't succeed. Thank you for spending some time with us. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpick these videos, which we recommend you watch next. You can talk to us on all social medias or ask a question in the comments below. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you back tomorrow.